Hope was a heifer born on 2020. She was Sarah's second calving and she immediately joined the school of calf rearing, where we raised her extremely well and all milestones were hit as was required. Hope calved down in June 2022, where she reached a peak of 22 liters on her first calving, and she was definitely showing signs of being an incredible cow. She was inseminated again with a bull from CRI named Phenomenon, that is sex semen with top-notch traits such as fertility, but she aborted on 3rd January 2023. In February 2023, she was on heat again, was inseminated, and she conceived immediately. Please note the great fertility and conception rate so far. She was inseminated 60 days after her first calving, she aborted, a month later she was on heat, was inseminated and conceived again. On 27th June, Hope had her second abortion. Well, guess what? As much as we loved her, on June 29th, she was on her way to the slaughterhouse. Hope was culled and someone somewhere enjoyed some good nyama choma. We know you expected a happy ending and we are sorry to disappoint you, but you see, these here are some of the difficult decisions dairy farmers have to make. Why did we cull her, you ask? This here was our thought process. Number 1. At the time she was culled, Hope was stuck at 8 to 10 liters without supplementation. Well, mostly because even with it, there wasn't much improvement. Number 2. If she was inseminated again, but there are ways to try and maintain the pregnancy where vets could use some injections, it was not certain, and that meant that if she did get to term, she would have calved down next year. From 2022 to 2024, that would have been a period of 2 years from her previous calving. Number 3. In our farm, it takes about 10 to 12 liters for a cow to sustain itself. And with Hope's 8 liters, it meant we would have had to chip in either from our pockets or from other income sources to sustain her, without fully knowing if she would have got to term or to good production again, and that was a risk we were not willing to take. Number 4. Her mother Sarah was culled as well after aborting 3 times. These are clear signs that there are some heritable traits in that lineage that Hope took from her, and could have been an issue moving forward. Speaking of heritability, here's the funny thing. Sarah's firstborn is still on the farm with no issues at all. She doesn't seem to have inherited the abortion issues. So instead of chipping in, using other systems to try and get her to carry the calves to term, risk loss of income, we procured a replacement for Hope, codename Unye, who is in calf as well and will calve down at around the same time Hope was expected to. And in that way, we don't lose the milk Hope was to give. Our main business is also the milk market based on our region, and we therefore need to keep the flow at a certain mark which we have planned well to align with expected calvings, and therefore cash flows are not affected. Through this, the farm is able to take care of itself consistently and sustainably. In the end, we do have some issues you also have in your farms, and all our advice or lessons are usually gained from the theoretical aspects and experience from being farmers first. Now tell us, what will you have done if you had to make decisions in this case? How have you handled abortion issues in your farm? Have you learnt anything from the story of Hope? We look forward to adding another heifer, and this time we will also like to extend this to you. If you have great heifers with proper records, please feel free to share with us. This is the beginning of an experiences series, so be sure to follow us on our socials. Facebook at Dairy Networks, Instagram at Dairy Networks, and check out our website www.dairynetworks.co.ke. For further consultations, dairy trainings, or ordering of our own brand minerals Superforce Kiwi Nation, call us on 0759 945 708. At Dairy Networks, we aim at profitable dairy ventures through dairy training and consultancy.